Hi guys, this is Chris Swanga from Raising Jabali. Today, I'm having a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for some time, like 23 years, since 2000 when we joined high school in Kenya. Hey, Mr. Fred.
Mambo.
Poa kabisa.
Mhm.
Unaendeleaje?
Safi
Uko
sana.
freshi?
Yes, safi
Thank
sana.
you so much for honoring our invite
Yeah.
to be on this channel. You are the first guest we are interviewing about fatherhood. The previous content, the previous episodes, they were about me and Jabali raising, showing some things about fatherhood. But now I want to hear stories from my friends and different men around the world talk about fatherhood and what they understand about fatherhood. So who is Fred? Where does Fred come from?
My name is Frederick Marika Kello. I come from a small village in Busia, Western Province. Nowadays, Busia County. Like I've known you for 23 years since we are in St. Paul, Samkura.
Where?
I think, it's been
Uniachi, nifuata sana. 23 years.
23 years. Yeah.
We thank God anyway for that.
Tunashukuru sana Mungu.
Kabisa.
I'm also a father to so many kids. And there's a reason why I have kids. I love working with kids and my passion is working with kids.
Oh.
I'm also a special care counselor in Canada. I did my studies in Canada and I work in a school in Canada and I work with kids, yes.
That is awesome to know.
Yeah.
I want us to go back down the memory.
Yeah.
How was your childhood? How were you raised?
Yeah. Aki Chris nitakuwa sikudanganye. Down the memory line.
Yes, we want to go back so that we can see the before and after.
Before and after.
Where is Fred coming from? How was he raised? What kind of a man is Fred? Why is he now interested?
I will try.
No problem.
I will
Why
try
is he now
as,
interested in working with kids?
Yeah, so.
Why have you adopted so many kids, if I can say? But that one I have preempted.
So, I was born in Nairobi. Sio sana. I was ushago. Ulizaliwa Thika. Mimi nilizaliwa hiyo hospitali Isili where everyone was born there. Like all birth certificate iko. All certificate iko na hiyo hospitali ya Isili. Yeah. So I was born here and I was raised in Western. Like my dad was
born in Nairobi, then raised
in Western. Yes.
Wow.
So my dad was transferred from Nairobi to Nzoia Sugar Company. So I did my class 1 to class 6 there. Back then. So
okay.
Normally when people ask me who's Fred, I tell them my life is like a TV series. So which season do you want to?
I want all this.
All the seasons. So
we will come here.
If we start with season 1, my mom died when I was 2 years old.
2?
Yeah, so and my younger brother, thank you. My younger brother was 9 months.
What?
Yeah, so
why 9 months?
Yeah, 9 months. And
do you know why? What caused the death?
Oh, it took me like I knew about her death when I was 26, when my stepsister tracked us for I don't know how many years, and she's the one who took me to my mom's grave and told me who my mom was, because until when my stepmom died, it's when I knew exactly, because my stepmom was 1 in a million.
You can say she was a very good mom.
She was an angel.
She never showed that you're not my biological
exactly.
child.
So it's until when her funeral, During her funeral, it's when people are like, oh, these kids are from the other one. Woman who died like, I don't know how many years back. So that's when I used to have those questions like, what are they talking about?
You said during her funeral. So
Yes.
your stepmother
Also passed away when I was 13.
Wait, 2 and 13.
Yeah, and my dad died when I was 12. So.
Whoa. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
2 years, 12 years,
And 13
years.
Yeah. So when my mom died, like my older siblings, they were a bit older. So my sister moved in Nairobi. My brother went to stay with our uncles in Eldoret. And me and my younger brother, we stayed in the village alone. And back then we had trees, like lots of trees. So it was a bit scary with a big house.
I can imagine on a 13-year-old.
With no windows.
Oh.
Yeah, so eating, sleeping, going to school was a big challenge.
Who was taking care of this?
We were taking care of each other. I was taking care of my younger brother.
Taking care of of themselves.
I remember my younger brother used to cry at night. I used to chapa him seriously. I'm like, why are you crying? Hey.
That is what you
nataka nilale. I want to sleep. Analia na miss mama yake na nini, but at that age processing all that was not easy. Like for me, being a father took me a long time because all this time I was raising my younger brother, but not being a kid at the same time.
Yeah. A child trying to raise another child.
Another child. So yes, we
went fitting in a father's, in a parent's shoes.
Exactly, and that came after we used to have 3 meals in a day, to having 1, to having 0, to having to go and steal your neighbor's yam, burning charcoal, to sell charcoal. Like,
can you imagine all these things are happening to
when
children?
lots of kids here in Kenya to be. Yeah, so it was a big challenge, and I have to go to school and pretend I still have parents. I think you remembered. People didn't know I was an orphan back in school.
Why did you pretend?
Just to fit in. I didn't want anyone to treat me differently. That is how I used to think, you know. Like nowadays, I'm a counselor. I tell people don't pretend to be someone else. Like, just be yourself. If people accept you for who you are, well and good. If they don't, it's their loss. So, but now I know that. It's taken me a long time to do that. So yes, growing up, raising my younger brother and raising myself was a big challenge. And when I got my firstborn, I really didn't know what to do.
You are taking me very fast.
Yeah, I know. I'm in season 6 now.
Season 6. And you're still on episode 1.
Season 6.
Oh, season 1.
Yeah, season 1. So yeah, that is season 1. Before I
wanna. Maybe this can come out wrongly.
Mm-hmm.
But why you said your older siblings went away? They never looked back. They never came back to check. Or now when you came to know the divide, hawa si wetu, hatukuzaliwa from the same mother.
To be honest, I never felt that way. And now, we never had that divide apart from the relatives and the guys at the funeral. Yeah, the relatives did a lot of separating us. A lot. Yeah, they divided us in 2. So we struggled with that. Yeah, we struggled with that a lot.
Sorry about that. I can just imagine living without parents for all those years.
Mm-hmm.
Having 3 meals and now you're having 1.
One, barely, sometimes. Barely. I used to love school. Because we had how many meals? I used to love school. Like,
karibu niseme, nilikuwa napenda shule wapi? Kumbe ni juu ya food.
Oh yeah.
And that is because home hakuna kitu.
Exactly. When it comes to the day of closing school, I remember I used to sometime walk 13 kilometers to save 50 bob so that I can come with it at school. Kubai ile mkati ya 5 bob.
Mtoto rangi ya tao kumbe ilikuwa shida.
Ilikuwa shida, my friend. So I used to love school because of food. And I wanted to stay in school because of... That's why I was in a straight line.
Ndio usirudi home.
Even when they used to have strikes and stuff, I was not there. And I didn't want it because I know where I'm going.
Yet wewe ndio ulikuwa one of the cheapest people. Lakini kwa strike ikitokea
I could not afford being suspended or expelled. Exactly. Knowing that every term I have a month to go, survive and provide. Yeah, that was tough.
Be in school.
Yeah, and remember my parents died when I was in class 6. Yeah, class 6, 7, so it was a hassle.
Pole sana. But we thank God you're here. What do you remember about your father before he passed on? Now that this is a fatherhood.
Hata nikujia kwa usingizi.
Yeah? What are the best things you remember about him?
The best thing. It took me a long time. Like, he was a very influential person.
Just like you, I think.
Yeah, he was a very influential person. He loved education. He took a lot of people to school. He went through a lot himself because there were 2 of them in the family, 2 boys. So our grandfather took them to school, like took him to school, and then he took his brother to school.
Your father took his brother to school?
Exactly. So
he was the first boy?
No, he was the first boy.
Oh, the first boy.
Yeah, not
so
the first
girls
one. Never went to school.
I can imagine their era.
But yeah, back then you educate only boys. So the guy...
These stories in here alikuwa anawaambia.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine. So you can say he was a good person in terms of relating with... Akona kupatia history kidogo.
History kidogo.
In terms of threats.
You ilikuwa in terms of threats ukianguka mtihani, my friend. So he was a disciplinarian, which at some point I think he kind of took it to another level. So I'm very sure he never saw a counselor in his life. So he never processed his... in Africa we don't... Vitu ni za kukam. Vitu za kukam. Yeah, we were beaten seriously. No mistakes went unpunished. And when I talk about punish, it's like 20, 30 canes. So
everywhere in your body.
Oh yeah, you turn where there's no pain, you can turn so that you can balance the pain.
This was happening to all of you as siblings, as children in this house.
Oh yeah.
Hakuna kubagua.
Hakuna kubagua.
That is good, at least alikuwa na feeling wewe peke yako, lakini haikuwa pia sawa. Ilikuwa too much.
Oh, it was too much. It was too much. Sometimes when I sit down and think about it, I am proud of
the father that you are.
I am, because I don't hit my kids.
Because of the trauma?
I don't know.
Just because,
normally people who went through that, I've seen people who went through that, they become really abusive.
That is
either to their spouses or to their kids. But I thank God I turned out differently. Yeah.
Is it because of the knowledge? What made you turn?
There is also knowledge, there is also experience. I remember when I used to be in high school, I used to have this anger issue. But being in Kenya, we don't have those resources to understand. I never knew how to process it. The only way I used to process it is work out a lot, playing soccer. And when I used to fight someone, I used to go overboard. Yeah, I remember one day we fought and I threw someone and then started bleeding from their ears and stuff. So until I met this nurse when I was 17, and she told me, you have an anger issue and you need to manage it. Because I remember that day I was so angry and someone held me I could not release that energy and anger, and then I fainted. It means ilikuwa extreme.
And una hasira pako na faint. That is too.
Because someone hold me, I needed to
release. That is too much.
Yeah, so when I woke up, I got conscious. She was like, okay, dude, if you keep on going through this way, you're not gonna go far. So she gave me all the tricks that I use up to today. When I feel that way, I have my ways to manage it. And it's been almost 20 years with no anger issues.
So I can say one of the things that you decided not to do, like your father, is the disciplinarian bit, the harsh physical kind of discipline that you render to your children.
Yeah, and also nowadays we tell our kids, I love you. I love you ilikuwa mkati kwa meza. He brings food, you have clothes, you go to school, you have shelter over your head. That is love.
But nowadays, it's opposite.
No bedtime story. Ukikojoa ni viboko. Kojoa, mimi niliacha kukojoa in one day.
Ulitandikwa. How old were you by then?
That was 89, so I was 5 years.
5 years.
The guy gave me one slap, and I remember until today, and never peed in my bed ever again. Kofi moja.
Hiyo hizi kuwa ni maybe issue ulikuwa nayo, ndio maana nusikia labda mtoto kukojoa, zingine
ni trauma. Zingine ni nightmares, zingine ni problem with their blood. It can be a lot of, I see parents, they freak out, oh mtoto wangu ako class 1 na anakojoa. But inaweza kuwa a lot of,
so you need to check huko.
You need to go see a doctor. If the doctor say the whole system is okay, maybe it's psychological.
In your system, in your time, kuona daktari ilikuwa
coffee. Yeah, coffee ilinitibu, my friend. Coffee moja.
Lakini
walikuwa that's how they knew. No, that's how they knew. The only way they knew. Yeah, exactly. Because even when I listened to my aunties, they said my grandfather was even worse. You know?
Baba lazima kuwe mkali.
He used never to use canes. He uses like hands to,
Haki una box mtu wako.
Yeah.
Na kirudisha inakuwa ni makosa, unapigana na baba.
No, you cannot. Yeah. You rather run away and you will come back chakula ikikama.
Okay. I've heard you told us that you are now a father.
Yes, a father of many.
A father of many.
Yeah.
You've adopted?
I've adopted a few kids.
Okay.
Both here in Kenya and in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
and also I have my own.
It's a thing that you took from your father, now that you're paying school fees for many people and you saw.
Yeah.
Will it be the same? What do you think you picked from him? Unknowingly or knowingly? Apart from the negatives, kama your fight.
Unknowingly, I picked up
things.
The positive things. It's, I think, the generosity. Yeah.
Homa alikuwa tera lakini nje.
Very generous. He fed so many people, helped so many people. Yeah, so I cannot escape it. Like, even if I go to the village today, a kid will be like, oh, nimefukuzwa shule for this amount. I'm like, okay, take this 1,000, go reduce the fee. Without even thinking.
Now your other siblings, they do the same? Ama wewe ndio ulipick this? Kila mtu alipiki yake.
Kila mtu alipiki yake. Kila mtu, we are all adults, so they have their own way of dealing it. I've seen my older brother, he has 2 daughters, beautiful daughters. The way he raises them, it's very different
from how you do it.
Exactly. For me, I'm a very I have the schedule, routine. I'm always in routine, and I'm like, I want my kids to follow the routine so that I want them to have to have discipline. And I'm not saying they don't, but my brother is a free, like he's like, you know,
Fanya kile unafanya bana.
kama utakula ukisikia njaa utakula, but me inakuwa I cooked this food is inatoka I cook. Oh yeah, I love cooking. Okay. Cooking is like therapy for me. Spend kuosha vyombo, but cooking
so chakula imepikwa lazima iliwe.
Yeah, but through therapy I was told it comes from the trauma of me not having enough food or not having food. So food is a big issue with me.
But
inarudi tu back. Venye una raise mtoto wako ndo venye atakuwa.
So is it bado from all okay.
As simple as that. The way you raise them, unakumbuka tukiambiwa shule mtoto mleavyo ndivyo akuavyo. Yeah. If you don't raise them, they will be also.
Hapa sasa unalazimisha kule ukidhania ni schedule na routine and all that, unataka kumbe una subconsciously.
Exactly, and I'm still struggling with that. Hata chakula ikikuja sahi, the speed I eat with, even though I know I'm gonna have another meal, it's just new reaction to. Sijui kama unanielewa. Mimi napatanga food na ikula asifi nataka kukimbia. Haraka, and then I have to remind myself, oh Freddy, you can afford this.
Yes.
Just take your time. Yeah.
And
then when I see kids wasting food, I'm like, man, I wish I had this when I was your age.
Things we see our parents do.
Exactly.
Things we go through when we are kids. In some way they come back.
Exactly. So I learned from my brother to be a bit
easy,
lenient when it comes to that. I do it sometimes, but sometimes it just gets me off guard. I'm like, oh, I can't cook and you
watch hapo.
Hey boss, where? In fact, if I see you throwing food, where inaniuma kabisa.
Mtu saa zingine ameshiba.
Mtu saa zingine ameshiba.
Akaacha, lakini kama alijipakulia
lazima amalize. So it will take time for me. Like I'm still going through the process.
Yeah.
And I always encourage dads to, najua men kwenda therapy na kuanga ngumu sana, kwenda kuona counselor.
Unajua unaelekea therapy kwa sababu uko Canada. Sisi huku therapy ni nini?
Therapy, counseling iko kila mahali.
Counseling weakness kwa wanaume huku.
Najua, but when you heal, you raise your kids right.
Super.
Yeah.
I was just nilikuwa kuchokoza tu so nilikuwa najaribu kuplay a devil advocate of how many African men think ukienda counseling ama seeking to be listened to for a week.
Hapana.
Yes.
Inasaidia.
Many men twende tu counselor, twende tu on a therapist kama inafika hapo. Let's be listened to. Yes, get an avenue to express apart from just being physical ama kwenda kunywa all that. The good thing is our guest bado ni counselor, so bado atatake through all these things, the benefits of doing this. Nimemcut short, lakini nilikuwa nataka tu kusisitiza
wanaume waende counseling.
Yes. Yeah. Inasaidia ndio tuweze ku raise these children vizuri kama we are healed.
And by the way, counseling, because I know how difficult African men have to go counseling. I always tell them, si lazima uende kwa ile ofisi ati counselor amekaa hapo umekaa pale. Counseling unaweza pata mali pengi sana. Kuna counseling church. Unaweza hata amua kwa have a small group of men, but usijifiche. People who you trust, go open up. Hiyo bado ni counseling.
Sisi marafiki bana men.
Mnapenda kuficha mashida.
Sijui mnao gari gani, nani anacheza nini.
We
call that therapy, we call that sasa tumebond.
Hiyo ni outlet.
Yes.
Hiyo ni outlet. But counseling ni ile mimi nimekuja Chris, ni aje mazee. Mimi mtoyo wangu mimi sijui shida yake nini. Mimi namwambia kila siku aende alale saa 3 asikie. Hiyo wanaume wengi inakuwa hiyo ni kazi ya mama.
Haifai kuwa kazi.
Haifai kuwa kazi ya mama. Because what people always forget, kids learn more from their dad than you think.
Somebody says many people are in prison. Boys with guns and girls with babies because of fathers not being there.
Exactly. So
Not
dads are very important to all the kids.
Yes.
Like, you heal yourself, you will know how to raise them.
I like that part. That's why we started this channel, Raising Jabali, where we just discuss main issues, fatherhood issues, so that we can be able to raise our children in a different kind of way. They say hurting people hurt others. So when we don't heal, hawa watu hii pia watakuwa tu kama sisi venye tulilelewa. Right? Nimefurahi sana for that. Thank you, at least nimepata mtu ana think kama mimi, ama mimi na think kama wewe, ama juu
minimum. I'm older. Yeah.
Na miezi 3.
Yeah, ni mingi sana.
Anyway, moja tuseme miaka zetu hapo watu wanafanya play. But I like this bit where we just talk about fatherhood. It is an issue that the world is suffering from. Many of us are not present. Many of us think fatherhood is just about providing the cash only. But there's a lot of things that we need to be providing in our families, in raising our children, just being there. You can even, do you think being present is important than providing the cash?
Sasa hapo unajua hapo ndo counseling inaingilia. You know, most fathers, they can be present, but they are not present.
Being there physically.
Yeah, they're just physically there, but they're not emotionally there. It's the same thing as just being financially there.
How can we connect with our children?
There's a lot of things. We need... Practically, you have to talk to your kids.
How? Mimi sijui kuongelesha mtoto. Sikulelewa hivyo. Baba yetu kile nilikuwa najua tu ni
unauliza kenye unataka unataka nini shule? No. Just first of all, it starts with a hug. Hug to. Hug to mtu.
The first time I got a hug from my father that I can remember is when my mom died.
Where?
Nikiwa Zikadia Kampo. That is the first time I got a hug from him. Nilikuwa ndio nimetoka shule Kampo, nimekuja sasa tulimit mochari. Hata I think before that alikuwa ameshindwa kuniambia mama amedai. Alishindwa, alikuwa ananiambia sijui mama amekuwa mgonjwa, ako ICU. So bado tunaendelea kumonitor, hiyo ndio simu ya kwanza nilipata. Bado tunaendelea kumonitor, alafu tutakwambia vile kunaendelea. Knowing my father is not such kind of a person who anaweza kupatia hiyo message. Yeye atangoja kila kitu ikuwe sorted,
alafu ndakwambie.
So yeye kuniambia hivyo, nikajiuliza, this is not my father. Usia kuna ICU. Haya anasema nini? But sasa sikuenda kuulizia
in details.
I think after 2 hours, 3 hours nikapigia, nilimpigia simu. I doubt iko I think I got a call from my sister, not so sure. Akiniambia mom alidunda na kapasi. So nikaona my father alikuwa ameshindwa kunishow. Which is normal. Kuna sometimes unashindwa as a man ama as a human being to pass some message. Ukijua huyu mtu maybe inaweza maffect sana. So ile time nilikuwa nakuja kutoka kampo kuja tunaenda limit mob. Ndio niende nione mali madhe yuko before the burial. Akanipiga hug. To be honest, I think nilisahau madhe amedai. It was so, what can I say? So
soothing.
Comforting, so nice. Nilifeel vizuri sana. So I agree ukisema,
it always starts with a hug. Hata kama una kitu ya kusema, hug talks a lot.
Hapo nimelala.
Wanaume hug watoto.
Mimi napenda kuhug sana wasi.
Hug watoto.
I like that tight embrace.
Kama mimi, I remember when I tried to sing a lullaby to my son, alilia.
Why?
Sauti.
Si ya kuimba. Si ya kutoa nyoka pangoni, kutoa chura.
Exactly. But nikimweka hapa bila hata kuimba alikuwa analala.
And I've learned pia that's a way we can bond with our children. Kwanza akiwa watoto hiyo tukumhug.
That is the silent, the silent communication. Your hug ni muhimu sana. Me, I hug my kids, I hug my friends, I hug like apart from wewe kuwapatia hiyo soothing and comfort and assurance, wanakupatia pia. Wajua kila mtu unajua we are on a healing process. Especially kama sisi we tuligrow, tulipitia vitu mingi sana. Zenye hatujui vile tunazi process at the moment. Unaona? So through learning, through channels kama hii ndo tuna learn how to heal so that we don't pass those traumas to our kids. Yeah. So communication with your kids are very important. Kama wewe mse una masauti, mse wa masauti, waimbia.
Unaweza imba.
Wewe imba, waimbie, wasome hata storybook. Mimi sipendi kusoma storybooks.
Najua kusoma.
Yeah, inakuanga shida. Me, I like telling them stories about my culture, nini. Funny stories in my past, and they laugh and then they sleep. But still they will be like, Dad, just read one page. Najikaza. Najikaza nasoma. Even though hata mimi mwenyewe kwa kichwa wangu naona hizi vitu mimi sikuwahi. Sijaizoea. Mtoto asome shule tena mimi nikuje msomee storybook ya kwenda kulala.
Unalala kusoma. Na huko sasa CBC lazima ufanye hizo vitu zote. Mnakuja kufanya pamoja.
Yeah, so hiyo inasaidia. So being present is a lot.
It takes a lot.
Because
you have to be very intentional.
Some of us, we bring our cultures back in the house, our jobs back in the house, our frustration. Na watoi wako connected na sisi. What you feel, it's what they feel.
Yes.
Nakumbuka I had like a session with a mother, like a couple. They were like, my kid, they just cry all the time. My kid has a problem. I was like, maybe the kid doesn't have a problem. Maybe the kid is feeding from something which is going on in the house. And maybe if you guys sit down and talk and see where the frustration the kid is getting from, maybe the kid will reduce the crying. Normally sikwambia ati hii na hii weka chini. Unajua ingekuwa best yangu nimemwambia wewe umeanza kuleta stress nyumbani. But they did that for a week and the kid slept all night.
They say they do so much what they see us do.
Exactly.
I can say that there's a time when we were trying to start the complementary feeding for our son Jabali. So tulikuwa namlazimisha akule. Mbona ukule unafaa kuwa unakula? It was so frustrating.
Nani alikuwa frustrated?
Mimi kwanza. I think tulikuwa nampatia maziwa, I can't remember. Uji, I think. Amekatana analia. To be honest, nilienda na yeye kwa room yake. Karibu nianze kuzusha. So nikaanza nini unalia na hii chakula tunakupatia. Alipiga nduru zaidi. Nikaona okay, hapa I think nimeenda overboard. Niliita the mother, nikamwambia babe come, hebu shikilia Jabali kidogo, ninakama. Nikatoka nikaenda walk. Ndio nikarudi. So hiyo pia ilinifunza another thing. Nikirudi mtu anampata ananismailia, nikashindwa. Tumetoka kuzushiana hapa saa hii. Ama nimetoka kukuzushia. Umesahau. Umeanza kunismailia kwa nini? Kwa nini umesahau? Kile tulikuwa tumefanya, that was a very big
kids.
Nilisoma hapo.
Kids are special. Watoi kama Jabali. Very special. The only way they can communicate ni hiyo
they feed on our energies.
Hiyo kulia, kusmile, kucheza. Hiyo hivyo ndio venye wana communicate. So wewe ulikuwa frustrated, ulimfanya akue frustrated, alafu akakufanya wewe ukakuwa frustrated, ikakuwa sasa lack of communication. Au uko unaongea na mtoto wako.
That is very true. That is very true. Hiyo nimekubaliana na wewe kabisa. I agree.
Mimi siku za nilikuwa nikikuwa frustrated na niko peke yangu na mtoi, nilikuwa namweka hapa. Alafu tunaenda tunatembea.
I feel umempinya na nguvu
ama in fact kwanza anaingia kwa makwapa huko. Hata mimi sijui alikuwa na breathe aje na hizi majasho zote. Na anaingia hapo. Alikuwa 6 months. Yeah. Naenda natembea tu na hivi. Mimi nafanya breathing exercises nikitembea, ana connect through that. Na hata ukimwona sasa ni very anakuanga ametulia, in certain situation. Na nikikuwa na yeye, hata sasa nikikuwa na yeye, sasa si yuko 8 years na yeye, nikuwa na yeye anakuwa ametulia kabisa paka leo.
Because of how you handle.
Exactly, paka leo. Akikuwa huko peke yake, in fact the days I'm not there, anakuwa very frustrated, ayuko sure, hii anataka kuwa perfectionist na nini, but nikuwa na yeye ametulia. Hata nikumwambia it's not a must ukwe number 1, inakuwa okay.
Sisi wazazi wetu tulikuwa lazima uwe number 1.
Boss.
Lakini sikuwa ikuwa number 1.
Mimi nishaikuwa number 1.
Mara moja ama mbili.
Unajua number 1, nilikuwa number 1. Yeah. Max nilikuwa tu number 1 ya ukweli. Max ndio siwezi sema ilikuwa ngapi. Nilikuwa class 7.
I'm loving how you are just kind of teaching us on how we need to connect with our children as men. Inanibamba sana. That is one of the ways to encourage men who are present in their children's lives, which is awesome. Now you, what can you tell the orphans? Can I say you're an orphan or you've been an orphan?
Mimi sijui hii orphan huwa inaisha miaka ngapi. Mimi sija.
Ndio maana nimesema can I say you are ama you were?
Mimi sijui bracket ya orphans huwa inaishia wapi.
Unacheka lakini serious. Even if tunapenda tu crack jokes and everything that we talk about, I think that is another, can I say, weakness of men, who tuna crack jokes instead of
dealing with the issues.
Exactly. Sasa tunachukulia kama just by the way. Hakuna mtu labda ako by the way in this position ya kuwa orphan anashindwa. How will I make it? How will I change my life? How will I be a good man or a good husband or a good father later? Nimeachwa nikiwa 13, wewe ulikuwa 0. Saizi hebu try to advise your younger you.
First of all, ni hiyo labeling huwa inatu affect.
That you are orphans.
Yes.
It's a label. So that is the fact.
It is a label. Normally, for me, I always say kids with no parents. Or kids who lost their parents. But when you say someone is an orphan, tayari anaji categorize.
Stigma.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly.
Nadhani kwa Biblia pia imesema God is the father of
orphans. Yes, I know. But sasa watu wangapi wanaishi na neno ya Biblia? Watu wengi huwa exactly. So kama mimi ndio nilikwambia in high school, I didn't want anyone to know I was an orphan.
Me I think nikuja kujua later.
Exactly. Kwa sababu sikuwa nataka kuwa stigmatized na jamani orphan, wazazi wakuji visiting ABCD. Exactly.
You didn't miss that anyway?
I missed that, but I was good at hiding that. I used to use your parents as a cover, so yeah. And who else? You, Jamo as a cover. So yeah, when it comes to kids who've lost their parents, it's really, for me, it's kind of personal. I have that, my empathy goes up there. Because I know how they are struggling.
Kuna wengine wana pretend pia zaidi. Wanajua where to tickle you, wanajua your soft spot, na kumbe they are just bad characters. Yes, I'm not saying that wako kuwa orphans. Ni kitu ya kucelebrate hapana.
Haoni kama umechangamkiwa hapo?
Si kuwa orphans. I'm just saying wengine wanaweza take advantage of people like you.
Being an orphan, vitu mingi zinaweza happen. Umenielewa? Wewe umepoteza wazazi. You've lost your parents. First of all, haujui what next. Sasa, depending on your character, depending on how you are raised, that's how you're gonna kind of survive and develop different kind of characteristics. I don't know if you understand that. So, that's why you have like a family of orphans with different behavior traits.
All the children.
Unapata mmoja ni mzuri, mwingine ni mwizi. Unaona? Kwa sababu once wali lose your guidance, ilibidi wa develop a new In fact, once you are an orphan, ukisha kuwa orphans, unaanza kutafuta wazazi.
Wengine mpya.
And wazazi it comes from peer group ama unakuwa jambazi, unakuwa mtu mzuri, unaanza kudanganya. It's just a way of surviving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acha nikati hiyo basi. Niko na watu wengine take advantage.
Hapana. Once you are not,
we can say how to learn how to handle this thing.
We don't prepare our kids. Like back in Canada, you hear things about godfather and godmother. You know what that means? It means in their will, when I pass, if we pass, the kid knows though these two will be my parents. You understand?
So you need to prepare about that.
Exactly. Which we don't. In Kenya, in Africa, if you prepare for death, in a manisho, it is a bad omen. Unataka kudeni.
Hata insurance ya the funeral na nini, not many people wamechukua hiyo insurance cover. Tunaonekana ni kama
hata mimi nimekaa hapa. Mimi I've traveled and stuff, but I don't have a will, and I know I need to have one. I need to have one, but naona hiyo siku nitasign.
But that day is coming.
Siku yenye nitasign naona tu yani kifo ndio hiyo inakama.
That day is coming.
I know.
Anyway, we need to prepare for that.
Exactly. So
no one will be here forever.
In the Western world, they kind of prepare their kids.
I think I'll
just in case.
I'll do that.
Yeah, so the kids know, huyu ni godfather wangu, huyu ni godmother wangu. Like I have a godson in Germany. If anything happens to the mom, I will have to go there.
Oh. Do you know why she chose you as a good father?
She saw me how I was taking care of my kids and how many kids I'm taking care of. So as simple as that.
What you do is what brings the kind of friends that
exactly
chill with you. So you encourage men to be
tafuta godfathers. Tafuta godfathers na godmothers. Ukishapata watoto.
Wewe pia uko mzuri ndio uko godfather mtu. Kama si godfather mtu.
Sasa unajua mahali hapa sasa penye inaingilia mtu inakuwa Chris ako na do. Wacha godfather mtoto wangu ndo kikiumana. Chris atapeleka
but character wise
exactly. Inafaa unatafuta mtu mwenye ata install values kwa mtoto wako.
Not just the finances.
Exactly. Ufanye mtoto hiyo gap yenye wazazi wameacha isikue kubwa sana. Yeah, it's always there but isikue kubwa sana. So mtu kama mimi I lost my mom when I was 2.
Imagine hata the love.
Yeah, alafu I had a stepmom who like
aliingia vizuri kabisa.
Imagine hiyo miaka yote. Si wote. Lakini kuna wale ni stepmother wa ukweli. But si wote.
Uko heaven, I'm salute, she took care of you.
100%. Yeah. I was one in a million.
Now Fred, we heard you say ni kama unacheza place mbili, Canada na Kenya. How is fatherhood ukicompare huko Africa na ya Canada? Nini tunatafaa kutoka huku na tukijipata in the western world tunafaa tu vitu kama gani? What are the
challenges ni mingi.
Kama nini?
Challenges ni mingi. First of all, in Canada kids have a lot of rights which kuliko parents. Mtoto akizaliwa ni mtoto wa serikali. That's it. When a kid is born is government property. It means
will protect, will go at any length.
Exactly. Wachana hii mchezo hapa ati for me even like once I got my qualification as a counselor, there's rules I was given from the government when I'm working with kids. Nikiona mtoto amekuja shule na amepigwa, like any sign of abuse, I'm obliged, yes, physical, psychological, I'm obliged to report it. And they will investigate.
So nyinyi ndio watu wanaogopa.
They will investigate. Hiyo sasa ni kazi yetu. Hata wakiogopa ni kazi yetu. So hapa Kenya mtoto wa kwanza kinyorosho nyumbani, ukienda shule the teachers will add more. Inakaa wewe ni kichwa ngumu, but they don't understand home ikoje. Sijui kama unanielewa. So that is one of the challenges I got. And also in Africa, we love installing values and cultures, like, respect. When you speak, the kid listens, Huko, you have a discussion.
Okay.
You let a kid express. Exactly.
Lakini si nadhani hivyo ndio inafaa kuwa.
Unaonaje?
Nafikiria hivyo. Nafikiria tunaweza akifika ile umri anaweza reason, anaweza kaa chini tu reason.
Hakunanga umri ya kuanza ku reason huko. Huko mtoto from a younger age, let them express themselves. Yeah. Sawa. Sisi ni dictators. Sijui nini ilituweka kwa hiyo dictatorship, inakuwa nikiongea unasikiza.
I think hiyo maneno ya
unajua hii talking back to your parents. Hapa Afrika hiyo ni no. Huko a kid can talk back to the parents, but depending with the parents anaweza ichukulia they're having a conversation. But me, I see it as a kid being rude.
Now that tuko na both ulilelewa huku.
Exactly. So I had a lot to learn.
And to unlearn.
And unlearn and to juggle. I still struggle until today,
Sasa hakuna kuchapa mtoi?
Hakuna kuchapa mtoto, my friend.
Boko hakuna. Spare the road, spoil the child is the.
Yo ni huko Amkura. Were taught in school back in the 90s. No, you cannot. That is you will have broken laws, lots of laws.
So. Corporal punishment hakuna. I think pia Kenya kuna ilikuja ikaabolish.
Shule. But at home.
At home bado liko hiyo spare the road, spoil the child.
Yes, huko no.
So mwanaume yote mwenye anataka kwenda majuu aanze ku recondition his mind.
Nikidhani nitafungua shule huko kwanza.
Huko
hapa. You go through my classes before I prepare you ndo uende. Unaweza enda huko ushikwe.
Okay, na urudishwe.
Uli discipline. Wewe kwako unasema ni I disciplined my kid, but huko you abused.
Huko kwa ni abuse.
Huku I gave my kid 20 stroke of canes and stuff. Eka coffee. Damu ikatoka kwa mapua nikapanguza.
Huko?
Hapa. Huko boss 5 years.
Hapo really exhibit characters za mzai. Kidogo before jirudi.
Oh yeah.
Na uzuri at least to learn.
Yeah, I had to learn a lot.
You talked about adopting children. Na umesema ni kama kitu ulipata from your father pia. Because alikuwa pia anasaidia watu wengi. How do you handle that?
Adopting.
How do you handle your own, can I say, biological children?
And the one I adopted.
How do you, because it's serious, how do you balance that you can connect with all of them vizuri na kutrust as a father? How do you do it?
For me,
let alone the financial bit, the emotional, the spiritual bit. How do you connect the social bit? Now see as you feel left out, afraid and a treat. Ule mtu mwingine kuniliko. How do you balance that as a man?
For me, I don't even see it as balancing. For me, like since I became an orphan, that is the only thing I wanted, to take care of kids. Because so yeah, I didn't want any kid to go through what I went through. So growing with that mentality, when I had kids and when I was able to adopt kids, I just see them as my own kids.
Yeah. I've seen you interacting with them. They call you dad. Yani, kuna connection poa.
Unaweza dhani watoto wangu kabisa.
Kama mtu akujui, unasema haya wana watoto wao.
Exactly.
How do hiyo yani kufanya hivyo ndio? Mostly we say we give this credit to women, mothers, because they are naturally mothers. Not unless kuna ule tu mwenye ako na roho mbaya, but most of them they can. You from a man perspective hapo ndio.
For me, the moment I take them, I take out the title. You are fostered, you are adopted, you are an orphan. You inatoka. You become my son, you become my daughter. Hiyo naitupa nje. Once umeingia, naitupa nje.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heko for that. Congratulations for that. You inspire me na hiyo part ya kusaidia watu na kusaidia watu hii and just having that strong connection with them. Yeah, na salute, nashukuru sana. Kwa hii conversation yetu hatujaongelea about Mungu. Do you have a relation with God? Ama do you think fathers or men need to have a relationship with God for them to be good fathers, good parents? Where do we get this character from? Do you think we need to have that?
Personally, I have a very good relationship with God.
So you're
because I grew up like he was my anchor when I was growing up. Since someone told me God is the father of all orphans, I took it seriously.
Alikujibu? Mna communicate?
Tulikuwa tunaongea kila usiku. Tulikuwa tunaongea kila siku. So I always believe it's good to have a higher
power.
There's a higher power where you can, if I cannot talk to Chris, there's someone I can talk to.
Who can understand me?
Exactly.
Is that something you also picked from your father? Did he really have a connection?
He was a strong Catholic believer.
Did he portray? Did he maybe...
It was confusing. Because he was praying every morning.
Hey, you had?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But akishamaliza kuomba, alafu uende kwa meza, alafu chai imemwagika kwa shati, unakula kofi. Boss, mimi nilijua kutumia kijiko with one day, kofi moja. Nilikuwa naishika hivi, nikapigwa kofi nikaona yenyewe ikaingia fomu.
Instead ya kukufunza, hii kijiko inafaa kushikwa hivi.
Unakulaje? Kofi.
Na sasa kwa train.
Yeah.
So we also need to train our
So growing up nilikuwa very confused. Huyu ni mtu ana donate a lot kwa church. Anaomba a lot. Alikuwa na hiyo rosary, alikuwa na
unasikia akiongea?
Yote.
Hey, that is good pia kidogo.
Alikuwa anaomba. But when inakuja saa ya kukunyorosha my friend, nimeshindwa so I believe being spiritual is good.
True.
No matter which denomination you are in, just having that, it anchors you somewhere. I believe kama una hiyo spiritual connection, you become a bit lost. Yeah. And then as African na vya tupendi kuenda therapy, counseling na nini, unapotea kabisa.
Kama hauna
unapotea kabisa. Unapotea kabisa. So I'm spiritual.
I brought that bit of this segment because we as men, we are the only people we are the only species who are given the same title as God, and that is Father. So how will you be good fathers if you don't have a relationship with God the Father who created us? So I believe you and I agree with you that we need to have that spiritual connection with our Father in heaven so that we can be anchored, we can be stable in our emotions, in our daily life. Kidogo inasaidia.
Inasaidia, si kidogo inasaidia.
Kidogo tu inaongea kama mtaani. Kidogo inasaidia sana. So Fred, hawa watu wenye umesema wacha tu nitumie jina adopted. Though umesema huna tu hizo titles zote. So hawa watu wengine wako back in Kenya, wao wameenda Canada, ama wengine wako Canada, sasa uko Kenya. How do you deal with that distance? Practically. How do you do it? Kumbuka wewe ni counselor, so unatuguide pia.
It's not easy. They break my heart every time I take a flight. Every time I take a flight from here, breaks my heart. Seeing them, I can see how much they miss me and how much they're gonna miss me, both here and in Canada. But what I do, I make sure they're financially okay. and I keep communicating like every single day. Yeah.
So
Communication is key, like, and I always tell them, like, I want to hear you when you're sad. I want to hear you when you're happy.
Wow, you've given them the leeway, the freedom to express themselves.
Yeah, and they do. And they will tell you, hey, Dad, today I miss you. Sana.
Oh.
Kama the oldest here yuko 27.
Anasema hivyo?
Atanipigia niambie, Dad, I miss you, I love you.
Whoa.
All that. So we do communicate.
Sasa kama ndio just find a way to communicate.
Exactly. We find a way to communicate. We plan. Especially the planning is the best part. We are like now I'm gonna leave to go to Canada. We already planned about how they're gonna celebrate Christmas and when I'm coming back, what we are gonna do. So it gives them, they look forward to that.
Oh, so usikalie tu chini ikuwe ni surprise.
Hapana.
We plan.
We plan.
Kanagia, hapo nikuje ni surprise. So tell I can see kuambia in advance.
You tell them in advance so that they look forward to it.
They even know that we need to be planning for.
Exactly. Like my daughter here in Kenya who is in Form 3, I told her, man, the day you hit an A next year, ukimaliza Form 4, when I come, I'm bringing you an iPhone. Asipopata A, bado nita celebrate.
Utapatiana gift ingine? Utashuka?
Normally yeye nikikuja kwanza nampeleka out. Mimi naye tunakuanga na date. Nampeleka out.
Date mnaenda kuongea nini by the way?
Date
tunaambianga kila time have a date with
your kid.
Ama hata boy child.
Date sisi huongea kila kitu.
Kama nini?
First of all tuta catch up. In fact yeye ndo kwanza anakuanga counselor. Ananiuliza Canada ikoje, how are my brothers, ABCD, wanakuja siku gani, nini. Alafu mimi narudi kwake, inakuwa how school ilikuwaje, mtihani. We talk about boyfriends. We talk about her future. We talk about her plans, like plan A ni gani, plan B ni gani. We make promises. No. So we talk about everything. Sisi huweka kila kitu kwa meza. And because I have the kids from the same family, I always tell them every month wanakuwa na family meeting. And the youngest, she's the secretary. Yeye ndo atani brief. Mona. So
I like your parenting style. Nitachukua vitu kadhaa.
Yeah, ni different. Unajua watu wengi wafanyangi family meeting ni mara moja kwa mwaka.
Hata ikiwa ni makosa, unafanya yule.
Exactly. So mi huambia family meeting once a week, good or bad.
Lazima i happen.
Good or bad. Weekend I will call and she will brief me.
It's every weekend.
Because they are a bit older.
Yeah.
The ones in Canada, we just talk. I make my own schedule. We talk, and I always tell them, if you have anything, you need to ask anything, you want to do anything, just call me anytime.
Anytime akipiga utashika.
Lazima. Mimi once nimeona call hivi lazima nishike juu sijui inatoka wapi. Sijui inatoka wapi na sijui inatoka kwa mtoto mgani. Yeah? Nani yako na shida? Hapo sasa hiyo ndo mimi Kenya huwa napitia. Yeah, so imagine I've had the same number since 2003. Sijaibadilisha. Hata mimi same number.
Yenye tu kuna nyingine iko public, nyingine haiko public.
Yeah, so mimi niko na hiyo yangu yenye sijai change miaka hizo zote.
That is good.
Yeah.
It shows you are committed. Commitment to your family.
Yeah, so traveling, I love traveling, but it's really hard having families in 2 different countries. I'm always
continents.
Three
different countries.
Yeah, so it's really watu inakuanga, oh man, you're so lucky. I'm like, not really. I wish I had all my kids in the same place so that I can install the good values in them, teach them, enjoy them. I miss a lot. Like my daughter here alienda math contest. Huko. Paka namuuliza, we tangu lini unajua hesabu? Mimi nadhani wewe ni mtu wa literature. Inakuwa dad, we kwani umekuwa ananiambia kwani wewe ulikuwa wapi? Namwambia nilikuwa Canada. Tunacheka. Tunacheka but I miss that. And then sasa niko Canada, my son anacheza ball huko. Ananiambia today I scored. Nimemiss bao yake ya kwanza. Nimemiss. Hizo memories huwa na miss, na hiyo ndo Kenya I don't wish for anyone.
Sasa it's the same as maybe can I say co-parenting? How do you deal with co-parenting?
Co-parenting.
Wewe umesema venye yako ni kama wengine wako Kenya, wengine wengine sasa una try so much to connect with them through calls maybe. Sasa how can you maybe advise for those who are co-parenting?
Co-parenting, that is a topic for another day. It's really all about communication. If the communication between the dad and the mom is broken, same as the kids. Watoto wadogo wana simu, si ndio?
Lazima tumie.
Ukuwa na hasira na madhe huwezi mpigia simu.
Pia
Akuwa na hasira na wewe, akiona call yako inakuwa mwanaume si mwisho wa mwezi ananipigia nini? Nataka nipigie saa zile anitumia do. Ni communication tu. Sisi wenyewe by the way, sisi ndo huwa tuna affect watoto wetu. Watoto wana makosa nyingi mki break up. Hao kwa innocent. Sisi tunawaletea hizo mashida zote.
We just need to separate our issues from them.
Exactly.
Hata kama tumekosana,
hata kama ni makosa gani, wacha access ya baba ikue, access ya mama ikue.
There's no need that tuende paka kotini sijui watu.
Unaenda kotini unasahau who is important. Unajua huwa tunapelekana kotini kuonyeshana nani ana kifua. Egos and stuff, but there's some stuff you just have to handle it at home, and it starts with communication. Yes, ulinikosea ama tulikoseana, we are not together, but we need to raise this kid. I've seen kids who have been raised in a co-parenting type of setting. They're better than the kids who wazazi wako na parents even pamoja na ni vita. Hakuna communication ndani ya nyumba. Pako unakaa hivi being a counselor is so hard. Unataka uambie mtu simuachane.
Cause unaona venye anakaa tu unaona
mtu yeye ana affect.
Lakini sasa usiku kusema vitu kama hizo.
Hiyo mimi nakwambia tu wewe best yangu nakwambia wewe. Nyinyi kuliko mpigane hivi mbele ya watoto, hebu muachane.
Like yesterday I saw kutoka prayers kuna mtu fulani hapo alikuwa I think ameenda live. Nasikia mama analia, mtoto analia. Simu iko dark. So I think msichana ama huyu mother alinatoa hapa kuna fight wanapigana na the husband. So akaenda tu live lakini iko dark. So unasikia the
commotion. Hiyo inakuanga mbaya.
Kwa mbaya. Huyu mtu yeye analia pako nashindwa huyu wako wapi niende hapo. Lakini sasa nashindwa hata nikienda nitafanya nini zaidi.
So avoid kufight. Na si ati fight kubwa, hata fight ndogo. Hiyo argument yenye mnakuanga nayo, avoid kuifanya in the presence of the kids.
I fight kabisa.
They are so smart. Na ni kama sponge, wana absorb hizo vitu zote.
Nitakuja kwa affect later.
Hata hiyo tu kidogo ile yenye nilisema ukuje saa 4, mbona umekuja saa 5? Inakuwa mbona sasa unaniuliza hizo tayari.
Hizo zifanyie kwa bedroom ama kando.
Wacha enda lala. Mtoke nje hata muende mpigie story nje. Hata kama ni ka fight kadogo, not in front of kids.
Hapo ni sawa.
Itabidi nimekulipisha hizi ni mingi.
Tutalipisha sana naona kwa sababu si mimi kama na benefit. Tunajaribu tu kusaidia many men. Kuna ingine many men think sisi to be present ama our can I say single thing that we need to do for our children and our families is to provide finances. So imekupata hauna do. Na I think imetuingia many men nikisema many men hapa naongea juu ya kila most
men.
Kama una do unashindwa hata reach out to your family. Kama unaishi na wote in the same house, either utawa-avoid, utakuja later ama tu kuna venye uta function vizuri. Na kama labda you are cooperating, unashindwa hata kucall. Like let me just be vulnerable. Mimi mwenyewe kama sina do mimi ushindwa kucall Kyla. Nina feel sasa nakuwa tuongee nini na sijaweza kumprovidea maybe school fees, sijaweza kumprovidea food, sijamnunulia hata nguo, sijampeleka out, tunaongea nini? Mimi ufeel nitampigia nikipata do. Nime struggle nayo for some time and I know so many men
wanafanya hivyo.
Though mimi nimepatiwa the leeway, you don't have to have money for you to access your daughter. Nimepatiwa the leeway na mama ya Kyla, which I really appreciate. But mimi mwenyewe I think I condemn myself na feel
wanaume inakusumbua. Wanaume.
Sio kitu hata na feel maybe
kitu ya kwanza mtu yeye ajui finance ni nini. Nani anajua story ya finance? Wazazi. Mtu yeye ajui finance ni nini. Finance yenye mtu yeye anajua ni emotion. That is the only finance yeye anajua. Alafu makosa yetu sisi tunajaribu kubuy emotions. Ndio kwa maana saa zile una pesa ya kubuy emotions unakuwa absent. Ina make sense? Tuache kununua emotions. Unajua mimi huwa sibai watoto wangu gifts. The only gift nawabaia ni kwenda out tukule pamoja, tucheke, tulie. Emotions. Usinunue emotions na pesa na gifts na sijui nini. That is a wrong way of raising your own kid.
Well, hapa I think mimi niko kwa hiyo bracket.
Kenye inafaa ununue hizo hugs, hizo surprise calls. Inakuwa my daughter, my son, nimekuwa around the corner, nikaona tu nikuja nikusalimie. Ama nimekuja hata paka shule nimekuja kukusalimia. Ukuwe na do, usipokuwa nayo, mtu yeye ata understand. Yeye ajui historia ya pesa. Pesa ni nyinyi wazazi ndio mnaleta. Pesa ni wazazi.
One of the reasons why I decided to go this route, this channel about fatherhood, it's because of such things.
Struggles.
Nili feel sina connection with my daughter Kyla vizuri as I would have wished. So nikaona the only way nitampatia guidance ni kujichallenge na this channel to learn sisi wote. I'm not perfect, I fail in some things. So nikipata watu wenye wana advice pia, kwa advice wengine, it's good. And I promised myself one day we'll sit in this setup with Kyla. I just get to understand
how she felt growing up.
Exactly. I know it will break me. I know it will break me, but I think itasaidia many other families, other men. Yeah, that is a challenge nijiwekea. So I'm hoping one day nitaweza kumhost hapa, because I know I've missed out in so many things.
And also one day nitakuletea one of my kids, si ndio?
Yes.
Uone.
Yeah, because I also wanna hear their stories, their way of seeing things as children.
Exactly.
Kwanza wale
they see it differently.
Yes. I don't just wanna interview somebody who has gone through it or maliza the older people. I wanna see labda mtu huyu mwenye sadly mwenye amepitia
separation,
a home that
violence.
Huyo mtu huyu akiwa that age. Ndio pia watu wengine waone by the way what affect watu ama huwa tunawafanyia nini.
Hiyo itasaidia sana.
Unaweza kuuliza wewe kile ulipitia, but wewe sasa hivi mtu kubwa mtu ataona
huyu analialia nini kwa
exactly. Ama
kwa YouTube.
Si amesha grow.
Ushaona nini orphan wa 30 sijui ngapi years old.
But I'm so sorry to say this, I know this will maybe go bad, but there's a person mwenye alikuwa mwenye ni orphan lakini ameterrorize watu sana, so paka najiuliza si my father ni orphan. see my friend Frederick ni orphan, mbona behave kama wewe?
Usimjudge.
Si kumjudge, ni ile tu unajiquestion unashindwa, na si tunamjudge. Unajua they say huwezi correct mtu kama hujampenda. Until you show them love, that's when you are permitted to correct. Ndio hata yeye pia anaweza embrace the correction. So mtu mshamwonyesha the love. Lakini bado unaona nini haiwork. Ama juu mimi si counselor. But mimi ushindwa tu.
Ni frustrating, eh?
Very frustrating.
I know.
You unashindwa, yes, I know me go through that challenge. Sorry to say, you're not the only one and you'll not be the only one. Hata mimi naweza kuwa orphan sahi. Ama nilikuwa, hata mimi nimelose some people who are very close to me, but how do we handle this? Ukimwambia tuende counseling. Tuende basi kwa therapy. Mtu kama unamsaidia mimi.
Mtu kama huyo kuna vitu mingi zina happen. Maybe hata aja heal kutoka grief yake.
But utahealaje kama utaki kuongeleshwa na counselor na therapist? You don't even want to make that move. Ndio nasema sisi African men. Sisi na therapist na counselor.
Ataki ujinga. Itachukua time. The more love mnampatia, the more ata understand. Anahitaji kwenda.
Sure.
Yeah. It starts with a hug.
See tough love.
Wachana story ya tough love.
Because inafanya na lose so many
opportunities.
Key people in his life ama her life.
It's a cry of help.
But you don't want this help redeemed. Yes, it's a cry of help and everyone the world is seeing. But when we try to offer, when the world tries to offer this help, you're not.
Usichoke. Hiyo inakuanga cry of help. Yeah, nakwambia inakuanga kazi. Mi kuna mtoto nimekuwa nikisaidia for 8 years. Bado ananidanganya. Bado character zake ni mbaya, but I keep on pushing. Pole pole.
Hakupusha wewe kidogo.
Huwa ananipush, si mimi ni binadamu. Yeah, unakaa unasema sasa nini najisumbua.
Hiyo deal tu na Mungu. Acha Mungu mwenyewe atakupata kwa kona yake. Anyway, na appreciate sana nimelearn so many things from you. Not just as a friend, but pia nimeiba the counseling bit saizi kidogo 2-3. What legacy do you want to be remembered with? Kwa sana your children, your kids. Wachana na ile ya dunia sisi. You as a man, you as a father. What do you want your children to remember you for? And are you living it? What legacy are you leaving behind?
Yangu inakuwa tu moja. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your neighbor, love everyone. It's just love. I tell them love is the medicine for everything. Love is medicine for hate. It's the cure for everything in this world. So
how do you love?
Mi love hata watu wenye ifai wa love, wakuwe loved. Mi nikidhani back in the days nilikwambia when my parents died, there are people who used to stop us on the road and laugh. Like, you guys, you are having shoes, the first one to have shoes in this village. We'll see where you are heading. And then a few years later, I took their kids to school. Yeah. Mimi ndo nikasomesha watoto wao.
Wale wenye walikuwa wanachekelea.
The same.
Because you cannot forget.
Yeah. Always sao. Hiyo vitu ni very traumatizing. Mtu kusimamisha kwa barabara, kuchekelea kwa uso yako. But watoto wake hawana makosa. But at least squeeze hata kukutana mimi ana kitu atasema ni mtoto wake yuko karibu kwenda uni, so
wote wamepitia hiyo.
But if I carried hate, ningekuwa kama huyo best yako.
Aungeweza tusaidia. God cannot even.
Mimi sinanga chuki ndani yangu hata kidogo. Mimi huwa na jam siku moja mbili, alafu nasahau.
Hiyo ni kweli.
Hiyo nasahau.
Ni kusahau ama kumove on?
Ni kumove on. Hiyo kumove on ndo tunaita kusahau. Na forgive. My brother told me one day, like when you choose to forgive someone, you are free. But if you choose not to forgive me, you are carrying the burden. So mzigo ni yako.
There's no future without forgiveness.
Yeah. So mimi uforgive, mimi usahau, mi utembea na upendo.
Hiyo naweza sema witness, nimeona. Wewe una jam tu kidogo na una jam unasema imeisha story.
Lazima ujam useme iishe uendelee na maisha. I want
it's a good trait that I'm trying to learn from you, honestly.
Ni ngumu.
I think that is one of the things that I'm battling with, forgiveness.
Yeah. It's really hard.
I don't know if it's because I get myself in so much, so nikipata tu many
kosea tu hivi unataka kudelete mtu.
Sinataka haki na kudelete. Nasema hii haiko sababu yangu mimi na wewe.
Yeah, so
those are the things that we are humans. Those are the challenges that I go through, the struggles that I go through. I'm not this perfect human being.
Yeah, for me, I want my kids to know love is pure.
And
that's it.
Show it.
Yeah, so I love them unconditionally. No matter where they are, who they are, like, I love them unconditionally. Hiyo tu. Na ngoje mimi kuwapea hugs kibao. Hugs kibao.
Just a legacy na kama umeenda.
Bado tu watafeel hizo hugs.
Baadaye unajua unaweza communicate na.
Bado watafeel tu hizo hugs. Juu si wanahagiana wenyewe. Na niliwaambia mkikosa kuhagiana tena.
By the way, you can tell us. How wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Unawafunza nini?
Wanawafunza communication.
Wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Wote wanajuana.
Wote wanajuana. Wote wanajuana.
Communication between themselves when they argue, when they go through stuff.
Communication. Hata hawa wadogo ukikuwa na issue hii kitu ya minds pendangi.
It is ours.
Ours. Ours. Our brother, our sister. Not my brother, not my sister. Not my dad, no, our dad.
That's a nice way. Not my si baba yako tu.
Yeah, si baba yako tu, baba yetu.
Baba yetu anasema hivi na
Exactly. So yo kuwaleta pamoja. Si rahisi, huwa wanasahau.
Of course.
Kwanza kadogo inakuwa usichezee baba yangu. Don't play with my father.
Amesahau this is also my father.
Exactly. Na naambia ndugu yake hivyo.
But it's a nice way. We really just pray that God will enable us to bring out kids who will be good people, good humans, to change the world, to change their small societies or communities. It is just a prayer, because a father has a very integral part in children's lives. A father, huwezi dismiss, no matter what, huwezi dismiss.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Unless you have something
to add.
Kumalizia. Nashukuru sana for your time when you
Karibu
go
sana.
back. Uende vyema. Bado tunasoma kutoka kwako, most of us.
Hata mimi bado nasoma.
Ishani. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. Kidogo nashukuru. We heal from that point of vulnerability. Nashukuru sana. Thank you.
Karibu.
Hope to do this again when you come back, ama tutakuja Canada tuifanyie huko kwa baridi ama popote in the world.
Yeah.
No problem.
Kwa baridi.
Tutasonga saizi tuko Nairobi, Kenya, in Africa. Thank you so much for your time.
Karibu.
You are a very busy man. Na kuna vitu mingi za kufanya.
Sana.
Keep on doing what you are doing. Keep on assisting people. May God bless you. May God increase you. May God keep you. I was fortunate enough to be with you, Oshago. Hawa toi karibu nifanye nilie. Thank you so much for what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sana.
Kuinue kabisa. And you live long to see these kids show love the way you want them to see.
Amen.
Thank you once again. This is Raising Jabali. Hope mmesoma vitu mbili tatu. Hapa tuko napiga tu story kujua how to do things, how to move on, how to handle things. Iron sharpens iron. No one knows it all. I don't know all. Bado tunasoma kila siku. Don't feel beaten up, don't feel down, don't feel like you're not worthy to be a father. God gave you that opportunity, God gave you that chance. God has mandated you to be a father like him. So usichoke, unaweza. Let's just correct whatever we've done that is not right. It is never too late. Tutalan, tutainua watu wetu vizuri, tutawajenga poa. Au sio? Thank you so much. Share this content with anyone that you think can benefit from this. And tell them to subscribe. Bonyeza hicho kidude cha subscription because we believe this is good content. Tunawapenda. Just like Fred amesema, let's share love.